llore más, a que no piense en mí. Si yo te había olvidado, por fin había logrado no pensar en ti. Si todo fue blasfemia, tú nunca me quisiste, porque mientes así. Si no es posible que me engañes más, no implores más, no me busques más. Escucha este consejo, no vuelvas a engañar en el mundo jamás. Ay, como ayer, como ayer, como ayer, como ayer.
Well, good morning if it's morning, good evening if it's evening, and good night if it's night. And wherever you may be listening to us, whether it be live or on the worldwide internet or on archives, Salam Alaikum and Malaikum Salah. Peace be unto you, peace be unto you. Well, guys, let's start off this conversation with some things that I've been noticing as of yet. I gotta tell you that as hoodoo grows and the thing of hoodoo, of what they call hoodoo grows, I've seen it happen in many spiritualities. Although people choose not to call it a spirituality, I'm still gonna call it a spirituality. I remember a couple of years back when Palo was the rage. And everybody wanted to get initiated in Palo. Everybody was talking about Palo, whether negatively or positive of it. Then came around the Orisha phase, where everybody was talking about Orisha and and all this stuff here, and more people were coming into it. And then Kimbanda came in and stuff like that there. While having a conversation with Charles Porterfield yesterday, we noticed a trend where everybody was talking about hoodoo and hoodoo this and hoodoo that and my ancestors this and my ancestors that. It has come to a plateau almost, to the highest point it can actually get to, because more people are asking, are reading for themselves. More people are so-called doing the basic works of voodoo. But I ask you, where is the main thing that has been taken out of this? See, because I see a lot of people calling themselves conjure this, conjure that, and couldn't conjure a $5 pizza with $20 inside their pockets. Okay? Conjure. Why do I say that conjure is missing? There's a lot of people calling themselves conjure. But conjure is the main element that has been missing from this thing. I see a lot of people doing robotics when it comes to spiritual work. You know, you take a little bit of this, you take a little bit of that, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. So I look up at conjure and I said, what is conjure? Conjure is to call upon a spirit, a ghost, to appear by means of magic. A ghost or a spirit by means of magic. How many people are actually really conjuring? How many people can actually call for the aid of a ghost or a spirit or of nature or of a certain plant, let's say? Not many. Because many of these people have not been introduced to this type of work. Whether it be necromancy, whether it be conjure, whether it be this, whether it be that. A lot of people have not been introduced to these things and have no idea of what true conjure is. Or what it is to have a license or have things to be able to conjure up stuff in the cemetery or to be able to make something out of nothing. So I sit back and I look at all these things and my mind starts to ramble and to tumble and to think about certain things that are spiritual. I ask myself daily, and I ask people to tell me, to answer my questions. Because as of late, I ask you this question, okay? How do you know that you're dealing with a real spiritual worker? Or an artist's rendition of a caricature made up with filters and misconceptions of what a worker should look like? Some of the best workers I know are everyday people. What do I mean by everyday people? People that do not need trinkets, filters, magic lights, 1,000 elekis or collares or beads, people who do not wear turbans or even advertise on social media. So what makes you come, see, because that reminds me of those commercials. Be all that you can be. Be all that you can be. I see it all the time, being all that can be on social media, on web pages, on this. See, because there is none that I have yet to see a master of all trades. There are none. People back in the day had specialties. This guy was real good at cursing. This lady was real good at love work. This person was being able to manifest abundance. And a lot of times a person that could have manifested abundance, guess what? They had none. They lived on the outskirts of town. They didn't live around the most of the people. And they damn sure didn't ride Ferraris. But of course, who am I to say? I'm just your boogeyman. I'll be right back. You're listening to It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere with Candelo Kimbisa. Thank you all for showing up.
I'm your boogeyman, that's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight. It's never too soon to wanna please you, to wanna keep you.
Enjoy your lunch, get up and dance. And remember, I am your boogeyman.
I wanna be your
right, I am Candelo Kimbisa, and this is It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere. I want to say thank you to everybody that happens to join us today in our chat room. R.K. Gomez, E.F. Still, Jasmine Bellamy, Mr. Batala, Yvette the Motown Witch, Ochosio de Agni, Miss Nicole, R.K. Gomez, Misty Salas with her wonderful candles, Lagaria Farmer, Miss Nicole, and everybody else that's here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, guys, today I got something that brought me back to my youth. As I was reading through short stories today to be able to read one to you, I came up on one that was very dear to me as a child and still touches me as an adult. For those of you who do not know, when I was a child, I loved musicals. I loved musicals, and I loved things like, just musicals and things of that sort. I used to watch them all the time. Remember when we were kids, we maybe had 2 to 3 channels. That was it. And in a black and white television, which was the norm. There was one TV in the home, and everyone would share it. That was the TV that we watched. And one day, when I was a child, I came up on a story, on a musical, and it was named Hans Christian Andersen. After seeing this musical, I had to find out who Hans Christian Andersen was. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. The library was right around the corner from my house. So I decided to go there and find some stories of Hans Christian Andersen. And I ran up on this story. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it and see the moral of the story, as I do and as I did as a child. The story is called, a short story, The Angel by Hans Christian Andersen, 1844. Whenever a good child dies, an angel from God comes down from heaven, takes the dead child in his arms and spreads out his great white wings and flies him all over the place which the child had loved during his life. Then he gathers a large handful of flowers, which he carries up to the Almighty, so they may bloom more brightly in heaven than they do on earth. And the Almighty presses the flowers to his heart, but he kisses the flowers and pleases him best. And it receives a voice, and it is able to join the song of chorus of bliss. These words are spoken by the angels of God, as he carried the child up to heaven, and the child listened as if it were a dream. Then he passed all over all well-known spots where the little one had often played, and often beautiful gardens full of lovely flowers. Which shall these till I take to heaven to transplant there, asked the angel. Close by a slender, beautiful rose bush. But some wicked hand had broken a stem, and it was half-opened rose buds hung faded and withered on the trailing branches. Poor rose bush, said the child. Let us take it with us to heaven, so that it may bloom above in God's garden. The child took the rose bush, and he kissed the child, and the little one half of his open eyes, the angel gathered also some beautiful flowers, as well as a few humble buttercups and heartsease. Now we have enough flowers, said the child, but the angel only nodded. He did not fly upwards to heaven. It was at night and quite still in the great town. Here he remained, and the angel hovered over the small and narrow streets in which lay a heap of straw, ashes, and sweepings from household people had removed. There lay fragments of plates, pieces of plaster, rag, old hats, and rubbish not pleased to see. Amidst all the confusion, the angel pointed out to a piece of broken flower pot and a mound of earth which had fallen out of it. The earth had been kept quite falling to pieces, by the roots that withheld the field flower which had been thrown amongst the rubbish. "Let's take this with us," said the angel. I will tell you as we fly along." And as they flew, the angel related history. Down the narrow lane of the low cellar lived a poor sick boy. He had been afflicted from his childhood, and even in his best days he could only manage to walk up and down the room on crutches once or twice, and no more. During the day in the summer, the sunbeams would lie on the floor in the cellar for about half an hour. In the spot, the poor boy would sit, warming himself in the sunshine and watching the red bloom through his delicate fingers as he held it before his face. Then he would say, and he had been out, and he knew nothing of the green forest and the spring verdure, till the neighbor's son brought him green growth from a birch tree, and he would place it over his head in his fancy, and he would in the beechwood while remain in the sunshine. The birds caroled gaily. One spring, as the neighbor's boy brought him some field flowers, and among them was one which root was still intact. As he carefully planted the flower in the flower pot, he placed it on the windowsill near his bed. And the flowers had been planted by his fortunate hand, for it grew and forth flesh, shoots, and blossoms every year, and became a splendid flower garden to the sick boy. The little treasure upon earth, he watered it, he treasured it, he took care of it, and he had benefit for every sunbeam that would come into the cellar, for the earliest morning ray to the evening sunset. The flower was enjoyed himself in his dream. For him it blossomed, for him it spread perfume, and it gladdened his eyes to see the flower he turned. Even in death the Lord called him. He has been a year with God. During that time the flower has stood in the window, withered and forgotten, till the length of the cast among the sweepings into the street, and the day of lodgers remover. And this poor flower withered and faded, and we added it to our nosegay, because it gave us real joy, the most beautiful flower of the garden of the Queen. But how do you know all this? Asked the child when the angel was carrying him to heaven. I know, said the angel, because I myself was that poor, sick boy who walked on crutches and never knew my own flower well. Then the child opened his eyes and looked into the glorious face of the angel. And there at the same moment they found themselves in heavenly home, where all the happiness and joy, and God pressed the dead child to his heart, and his wings were given to him, and he could fly with the angel. Hand in hand, the Almighty pressed the flowers to his heart, but he kissed the withered field flower and received a voice. Then, in joining in the song of the angels, he surrounded by his throne, some near and others distant circle, but equally happy. They joined the chorus of praise, both great and small. The good, the happy child, the poor field flower, that once laid withered, cast it away on a heap of rushes in the dark street. That was The Angel by Hans Christian Andersen, 1844. Wow.
Trashman didn't get my trash today. smoking in their easy chair on a fat cigar without a care. But that's what makes the world go round, the ups and downs of carousel, changing people's heads around. Go underground, young man. People make the world go round. But that's what makes the world go round, the ups and downs of carousel, changing people's heads around. Go underground, young man. People make the world go round. People make the world go round. People make the world go round. People make the world go
Well, I am Candelo Kimbisa, and this is It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere. I am so happy to have you here. You just do not know. Today's tough shit tarot of... now I'm getting stuck. Today tough shit tarot of the day is, it is time to get angry and stand up for yourself. Try not to speak through your emotions, but instead communicate from a clear-minded, centered place. Now, the only way I could do this is actually say it through a story. Okay? Oftentimes I get people that contact me that have been so-called done over by another spiritual worker, or the person took their money and didn't do anything, or threatened them when whatever. I often say to themselves, if you're not going to stick up for yourself, Spirit is not going to stick up for yourself. And I am definitely not going to stick up for you. So this brings me to this little story that I found, a little short story that I found called The Wild Doves. See, it says, one day, a bird catcher went to the forest to catch some wild doves. He took some of his own tame doves and tied them to a nest. Next, he had spread out the net and hid himself behind a tree. Some of the wild doves flew by the area. They saw the tame relatively happily sitting among the cords of the net. The tame doves did not look as if they were in danger, so the wild doves flew close to where the tame doves were sitting. Suddenly, the knots of the net tightened around their tender feet, and the wild doves were trapped. They were very frightened and called and tried hard to escape. However, the bird catcher had came running from his hiding place. The bird catcher easily caught these wild doves. The wild doves said to the tame doves angrily, "Why did you not warn us? Why did you let him get us? Why did you let him get us caught? You are our relatives. Do you not care about us?" The tame doves replied, "We wanted to make our master happy. That is more important to us than pleasing our relatives. A good servant is always faithful to his master." What do I mean by that? See, if you don't stick up for yourself, that person becomes your master, your captor, the person that has you up under their net. At least if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the other doves. I'll be right back.
Como por y vale, un chango, lo mío. Como por y vale, un chango, lo mío. A la dola, aquí la dola, guara, un bajo chile. Uruta, guambogi, a loro, por un oca mei, por un oca mei, guolo tu mare. A to fingo yo, agua que te lepe, oh, que te huela, ve, oh, patele, el agua loriza, oh, patele, el agua loriza, oh, patele, el agua la to, y lupo valle, oh, baboso, siete rayos me lleva 7 leguas, 7 leguas pongo 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Digo, 7 leguas pongo 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Oh, 7 leguas pongo 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Oh, yo 7 leguas pongo 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Ah, rayo pato un congo 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Arriba por abajo ponte 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
7 rayos allá la pama 7 leguas.
7 rayos me lleva 7 leguas.
Oh, yo 7 leguas pongo 7 leguas. legua Congo. 7 leguas, 7 leguas Congo, 7 leguas. 7 leguas Congo, 7 leguas, 7 leguas. Ahora yo mata Congo, 7 leguas Congo, 7 leguas. Adiós, si le mi chango, 7 leguas, 7 leguas Congo. 7 leguas, 7 leguas Congo, 7 leguas. Ya la mele, 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 ya balan, balan. Que estaba llorando una niña, que estaba llorando una niña, a las orillas del río, viendo las amarguras de este mundo tan traidor, y ella le imploraba a Dios, ella le imploraba a Dios, solo pidió bátala, pero nadie la escuchaba, y ella decidió volar. Ya la viene, vele, 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 ya balan, balan. Pero,
Vuela, niños, abuela, ¿cómo va a volar?
¿cómo va a volar? Oh, Dios, los niños batalan.
I see the daughters of Ochuma showing up.
¿Cómo va a volar? Niñosa, a volar. Niña, vuela, vuela
Vuela
ya.
ya,
Donde los niños batalan. Como vuela ya. Vuela, vuela ya. Donde los niños batalan. Niña, ¿cómo va a volar? Donde los niños batalan. Vuela, como vuela ya. Vuela, niña, vuela ya. Vuela, ¿cómo va a volar? Que ole guayeo, ole, ole maguacé. 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 Ole, maguacé. Ole, ole maguacé. Y tú ole maguacé. Niña, mira cómo va a volar. Ole, ole maguacé. Ole, ole maguacé. Ole, ole maguacé. Niña, buena, cómo va a volar. Macetono ya
ya le de macetonache.
Oyo, macetono ya lo de
Donache,
Oyo, macetono ya lo de donache. Macetono ya no me, macetonache, oh. Miro, macetonache, donache, oh. Macetono ya no me, donache. Niña, niña, abuela ya, donache. Macetono ya lo de donache. Macetono ya no me,
fung Ochun, mapere fung ibukule. Oh goodness, so many want to be part of her and so many people fall short. Please do look up the story of Latinosan or Ibukule and find out this beautiful, beautiful story on how Oshun saved the Orishas and mankind by turning into a vulture and trying and trying and trying, and she was able to reach Olofin and give him the message that he refused to hear from everyone else. And as we think about this, I think about my first step into that river. I think about my first real meeting with her. Maferefun Oshun. Well, guys, I'd like to tell, well, Ifa Abe, you just joined us. Well, welcome, sister. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Halafia and salam alaikum. As I sit here and I'm thinking about the next couple of months that are going to come, I got to start thinking about, of course, the Mile High Conjure Gala. The Mile High Conjure Gala in the beautiful city of Denver, Colorado, at the Lumber Baron Inn, where we will be joined with, of course, Ifa Abeyu, Ambrosine Laguerre, Rains Conjure, Professor Charles Porterfield, Professor Ames, Miss Aida, Michelle Jackson, Doc Beverly Smith, of course, is going to be there. Man, I hope you guys do and will find the time to come see us there. It's going to be fun, it's going to be educational, and it's going to be a meeting of the best, the blackest, the best, the blackest, and the better conjure workers in the United States, and maybe from around the world. I hope you guys do come and check us out. This is our second year, but guess what? It's going to be full of everything you need. Real conjure teachings, real conjure workers, real people. Since the conversation of ancestors always comes up, and I know this is one of E.F. Still's favorite songs, I'm going to take the time to play this little record here, because I know the Conjure Gala will be filled with ancestors.
Egun. Aumba wa ore, aumba wa oma, awa okin, awa oma, awa oma le yawo bobo egun kawe. Aumba wa ore, aumba wa oma, awa okin, awa oma. Yo bale ya wo bobo egun kawe. Egun bale o, 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 egun bale o. Awa oma le yawo bobo egun kawe. Ope un toro, lagba, ope un toro. Ope un toro, lagba. lagba, ope un toro. Le ope un toro, lagba, lagba, ope un toro. Hacer y pum, egum, bobo, egum, anda. Aomba, waori, aomba, waoma, waotu, awaoma, awaoma, leyawo, bobo egum, kawe. Ope un toro, lagba, lagba, 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 ope un toro.
I want to send my congratulations to a good friend of mine, my abude, Manuel Soto, Omi Kungale, who was presented to the OSHA room today. May you work many, many ceremonies, and may you flourish in OSHA as you were meant to flourish, okay? Omo Olokum, Manny Soto, congratulations on receiving your Guaido de Santo today. Yes, that is awesome news to hear. I am very happy for you, and may you be blessed beyond your blessings. Well, guys, you know we're coming up on the end of the show. Funny as it may seem, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in here every day with us and listening to my little ramblings and listening to the music that we're playing and all that stuff that goes on in this crazy place we call it 12 o'clock somewhere. Remember, guys, one hand washes the other, both wash the face. I want you to do me a favor and to do the real people in the community a favor and stop by their shops. I want you to go by Ifa Bayou's Love Supply Botanica. I want you to check out Misty Skyler's shop, where she sells handmade candles, some of the best candles I've ever had the pleasure of buying. I also want you to go by YvetteTheMotownWitch.com and check her out and check out her stuff. Go by EmbrazineLaguerre.com and check out some of their work. Man, these people are putting in good work. Check out Rain's Conjure. Check out Raven's Alley. Check out all these local stores in your local states that can also give you handmade quality work. Remember, again, and I rephrase it and I re-say it all the time, one hand washes the other and both wash the face. My sincere wish is that you all have a great, great, great day. And I gotta tell you, whenever I hang out with y'all, I know it's going to be a lovely day. As always, may all the egums and shadows that accompany you have all the necessary light. From where I sit, that's it. Salam alaikum, everyone.
When I wake up in the morning, love,
meets my eye, and something without want of love bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere was brought to you by kimbisa.org. The Mile High Conjure Gala, and of course, Candelo's Corner.